Welcome to Particle Pharma. Hope you all are fine. So, if you might have remembered, in my last session, I have given a prompt that why cells are dying, or in specific, why animal cell is dying. So, you might be thinking that who told you that animal cells are dying? So, I am talking about the cell in ill condition or disease state or disorder state. Okay. So, what is the reason behind their destruction or who is actually involved in it? Here, animal refers to, or what I am preferring is Homo sapien, but it also includes the whole animal kingdom. So, whenever I am talking about any specific species, I'll mention them. So, come back to that point that who is involved in that or what is the reason behind that there is an animal cell destruction. So, are you ready to delve into the ocean of science? Yes. So, it will be an interesting topic to learn about the cell destruction. So, let me begin with today's topic that is cell destruction, in short, cell injury and cell death. So, have you ever noticed about the construction of buildings or towers or bridges? But did you notice any destruction of it, or why destruction will happen? Due to that proper construction was not happening, right? Due to the bad weather sometimes, or due to that location is not proper. So for all that reason destruction will be there. So like that cell will also face destruction. So how cell destruction will happen, or what may be the possibilities after the destruction, or when this process will begin, and how long will it take, how much time it is required, and what agents are required for the destruction of the cell. So all these queries will get answered if we refer to path to destruction, or in pathophysiology of cell. So I'm going to start a new category in my channel, that is pathophysiology of cell or pathophysiology of animal kingdom. So welcome to the cell destruction once again. So shall I begin the path to destruction? Let me begin. As we all know that the cell functionings or the cell properties are it maintains its structure and function. It also tries to maintain environment, inside and outside environment, isn't it? If you find, or if we find any imbalance in the properties of cell, it will leads to cascade of events which are not good for cell, and it will leads to cell injury, and eventually if these events are so much high, it will leads to cell death. Please note down these points so that it will save your energy and time, and it is helpful to you to revise the topic easily. So what is path to cell destruction or how it is happening? Just now we have seen what are the queries. So that queries will get answered during the flow. Okay. So I am taking an example of single cell here. So it is easy for us to understand it better. Just imagine that a person is there and somebody is attacking on that person. What will happen? There will be two possibilities. Either that person will win or they will win. The attacker will win. Okay. Or that person will lose. That attacker will, sorry, I'll repeat, the person will win and that attacker will lose. Or the person will lose and that attacker will win. So same thing will happen here. Whenever any kind of stress is happening on the cell, either that cell will lose or the stress will lose, any one of it. So how it is happening we will see. So what are those stresses that is occurring on the cell? It may be of three types, either physical, chemical or biological. So what are those physical stresses that is occurring on cell is cell temperature or radiation. If temperature is high, so during summer season we can see there will be a lot of death due to sunstroke, isn't it? Because there will be an increased amount of temperature or radiation. So nowadays, due to increased in digital era, everyone is using mobile phone, isn't it? You can take an example of me only. So I'm giving this session through using a any kind of device like laptop or phone. Even though this is helpful for us, but somewhere or the other means we are getting affected with these rays or radiation, which is not good for our health. So if that rays are increasing on our cell, then it can lead to physical stress. So next is chemical. Now don't tell that ma'am stop giving this kind of lectures as it is increasing stress on our cell. But I'm not going to that give lectures to that much extent that it is going to have stress on your cell. So I am going to give lectures up to some extent. So next is chemical stress. What are including in chemical stress is toxin. Examples are toxins or drugs. I'll tell you that some people are taking drugs to that much extent they are becoming habituated. Due to that, it is becoming a stress on the cell. So what all these drugs are causing to our body, we will read in toxicology. Right now, just remember it as an example. Next one is toxin, which is not good for our health or which is not good for the cell health. So it is also coming in chemical stress. Next is biological stress. Biological stress example is infection due to virus, parasites or bacteria. Next is AI disorders. Here AI refers to autoimmune disorder. Don't get confused with artificial intelligence. Okay. So these are the things which are coming under biological stress. So these stresses are occurring on the cell. So what will happen? What will cell do? It will try to adapt to the situations. What it will do is it will show initial cell response. Initial cell response. What will cell do is it will show initial cell response. What is that cell response is? First it will go for adaptations. Adaptations again it is of two types, physiological and pathological. Physiological, it will try to change the condition, it will try to change itself, it will try to change the condition, anyhow it will manage the stress. Pathological, it cannot be able to manage it. It will, how it will happen, I will explain in adaptations in detail. I'll just tell you one line that it will go out the limit. Okay, think in that manner. So these pathological adaptations will lead to cell injury. How? If it is going above the limits, these stresses are going or increasing in its intensity will lead to reversible cell injury. Okay, I'll come to injuries, reversible injury here. When stresses are going or crossing the intensity, it is causing reversible cell injury. Just imagine the stresses are there, it is causing reversible injury. When these stresses are removed, that cell will come back to its normal conditioning. Some changes will be there, but it can perform its function. Sometimes it can perform its function as of the original state. Sometimes those functions cannot perform by the cell as of the original state, but it will perform anyhow. But what will happen is if these stresses are occurring for so long or intensity is long or time duration is so long, then this reversible cell injury will turn into irreversible cell injury. So cell cannot perform its function like that of the original state. It will get destroyed for lifetime. So there is no return. And eventually this cell injury, irreversible cell injury will leads to cell death, which is so horrible. So what are kinds of reversible cell injury and irreversible cell injury? I'll explain in next session. So thank you each and everyone, and please stay tuned, stay healthy, and try to get the points. And if you people are having any kinds of update related to healthcare system, please DM us and follow us. Once again, thank you.